Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live with myself, Ruth, from Top Schools. That's what it says at the bottom of the screen. So this is regular Thursday with me. If you have any questions, if you would like to ask me anything related to UK independent schools or Hong Kong private schools, this is your opportunity. So as the questions come in, often it takes a little bit of a time for people to be to start asking questions. But this is your last chance. This is your last chance to ask me questions before the deadlines. Many of you will be facing deadlines of 30th of September, 1st or 2nd of October. So next time that I go live will be the 3rd of October, if I'm not mistaken. And it might be just too late. So if you do have a question related to an application or a school that you might be thinking of applying to with October, this is your final chance to ask me anything. So while you think about that, just to recap on the week, I'm feeling slightly stressed, as I always do in September, and I always forget how it feels once October, November come around. But obviously I'm working with a number of families at the moment and guiding them through the whole process to make sure applications are in by the deadline. That's the first step and the most important step, because if you submit late, it's game over really before you've even begun. So busy with that, very busy with our biggest event. Not only our biggest event of the year, but our biggest event of the decade that we had on this just last Saturday. Were you there? Did you come by to the International Schools Festival at the Marriott Ocean Park with SCMP? That's a partnership here we go. I was very happy to receive this award that sits proudly on my desk. Thank you, Raz. So 10 years CMP running the International Schools Festival, and wow, time flies, huh? Time flies when you're having fun. So it was amazing. We started with a leadership breakfast. We were there at 7-something a.m. Lots of principals from lots of schools to have a breakfast, and then 50 plus schools were exhibiting on the day. We had lots of speeches. I moderated 2 panel discussions. It was lots of fun. So if you were there, give me a thumbs up. If you weren't there, you have an opportunity to do it again in March or next September. But you did miss out. Come on, guys, where have you been living? I've been plugging this for months. It was amazing. It was fantastic. And still exhausted. Not going to lie, at my age. So that was the highlight of the week, the month, the year, the decade, probably. It was amazing. We'll have lots of photos. I think I posted something, but there's more photos and more video coming. We have lots of events with corporates. We're doing some nice events with some banks and hedge funds. So if you work in a company that's sizable enough that you could get an audience together, I'll come down. I'll come into your office. I'll do a workshop. I'll do a seminar. If you have a sizable company and you think that would be of interest to the staff, then please do invite me. I'll be very happy to do that. So what else is coming up? Any questions? Do you have any questions about Hong Kong international schools or UK independent schools? Now, if your child is born in 2021 or 2022, then this is really your year. This is where your children are most likely applying to a K-12 school, i.e. a through trained school. So they're either going in at K1 or K2. If they're not already in a through trained school by K2, there are a few schools, not very many, and not very many with not too many spaces, that do have additional openings for K3, which is the equivalent of year 1. but it would be much better if you have the luxury of time, if you have younger children, that you should know that you do need to be applying for your child to enter into K1 or K2. It's still upsetting when I speak with parents and they say, well, my child is in K3 and we'd like to consider an international school. It's like, yeah, it's a bit late. Not impossible, but there will certainly be a number of schools that will simply be off the table, and not for any other reason other than timing, which is a real shame. So if there are no questions, I think we have a technical issue. I can see like a few people watching, but literally we used to have more than this. I'm not sure if you are getting this. I'm not sure where it's going. I will look into that. But last chance before the deadlines. Are you putting in applications today, tomorrow, the next day? Have you already done it? What else is going on? Oh, just so much. So busy. So if there are no questions, and I can't see any, I'm really confused about this. I'm sure that I'm not seeing them quite somewhere. Oh, hi guys. Oh, I can see some people have liked the video, but you have no questions. Well, okay. Let me just navigate back to the tab. I've got too many tabs open. So if you've got little ones, and you're all on top of your applications, that's fine. If you've got slightly older ones, then the applications will just generally be spread out a little bit more. There will be possibly accepting them now, but then your deadlines will be a little bit later. So for the upper primary and secondary children, everything's pushed back a little bit. So all of the schools start with the younger ones and then move up. So if you have children in upper primary, secondary, some of the schools are going to want to have a little bit of more of a handle on who's leaving, because of course there are no additional spots at those year groups. It's really only leavers. So the schools don't know how many spaces they have for next September until about March, April time, about Easter, when schools will canvass existing parents to ask them, do you intend to return next year? At that point, some parents will already know that they won't, and so they will say so, but actually a lot won't even know. So they still may indicate that they fully intend to return next year, yet something happens in the interim. They're going to receive a job posting for overseas. They're going to have applied to other schools in which they are successful and then withdraw. So that's the way that it goes. So I will sign off now, I think. Thanks for watching. I know some of you were watching. Thanks for your likes. And usual, last chance, deadlines. By the time I come on here next Thursday, please, I do not want to have comments or questions when people were like, I missed the deadline. Can I help? I hate that. I feel so bad for them. And if you're in any doubt, yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Well, this is the opportunity to ask me. You know, I did chat through with a client last week that were like, I think we'll skip this school because, you know, for various reasons that may or may not have made sense to them at the time. But you know what? Why not just do it? Because there's no going back. There are no, you know, to have regrets is just the worst. So better to do it and then think better of it, and then to think, oh, well, you know, even if we get an offer, we won't take it. Still, it's a better situation than to not have applied and then regret not having applied, if that makes sense. Okie doke. See you next Thursday at 6 p.m. Take care. Bye-bye.